Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about the Ruger 1022. Okay, now this is one of those guns that I have two versions of the gun, and the reason is because when I first bought it, I was that impressed with it that I needed to have a second one. Okay, because I am an instructor and I do a high volume of shooting. So basically this is one gun that I felt that I needed to have two of them. So about 7 years ago, when I started doing this. Things were a little bit different, especially in the 22 market, because it was a lot easier to buy, 550 round bricks for about $15. Okay, and you could buy them consistently. Okay, so at that time, basically, I would operate a little differently. What I would do is my training sessions basically included a 550 round brick, and I would train you both on rifle and pistol. And basically after you went through all of that, then I would basically move you up to other guns, okay? And then what happened is the ammo shortages, okay, the Obama ammo shortages started hitting, and I had to be a lot more conservative with the ammunition, okay? So I started operating differently. But in the first year, okay, I basically each of these guns went through about 10,000 rounds, okay? So each of these guns has about 10,000 rounds on it. And since then, okay, I put another 1,000 rounds on it. Okay, so the bulk of that work was done, early on. Okay, now important, worth noting when you're shooting 22s. Okay, we're typically doing a high volume of shooting, and we're typically not cleaning the guns very often. Okay, as far as cleaning these guns, they are a pain in the ass to strip down, and when I do clean them, okay. Basically, I do not strip the guns down. I open it up, I use those sprays, I get the brushes in there, and I clean it as best as I can without taking the gun apart. And the only time I would ever take this gun apart is if something broke, if a part broke, and I needed to replace it. That's the only time I imagine I would ever take this gun apart. So I've never stripped this gun down to its bolt. And in the first year that I bought this gun, I can't remember that far, but it's a good guess to say that I probably did not clean the gun very often. I mean, I might have cleaned it 2, maybe 3 times throughout the whole course of the year. Okay, and again, that would have been a very quick spray, brush. Okay, the gun's clean. Okay, and there's a good chance I didn't even clean it that many times. So. So that's a good thing to say. I mean, basically, this gun will run those 22s very well. And I was at the time I was basically working off of those Federal 550 round bricks. Okay, so that's what I was running through this gun. Now, when I bought these guns, both of these guns, they both came with these Elmer Fudd type of stocks, and basically I switched it out to the collapsible stocks. And the reason why I needed that is because the gun does have a little weight. It's a little weight up here, and especially if I'm training women and children, I need to shorten the gun so that they can pull the gun in a little tighter, closer to their body, and basically the gun feels a little bit lighter to them. Okay, rather than it being out there where they need a little bit more arm strength. Okay, so that's why I needed a collapsible stock on this gun. This stock, I think I paid like some $70 for the stock at the time. It does come with these different rail mounts that you can put all over the gun, but they're very big and clunky, and basically I wasn't really happy with them. The rail that I do have on here right now to mount this red dot on, that came with the Ruger. So this is Ruger's rail. Okay, one of the things I don't like about the Ruger 1022 is the rear sight. I'll bring it close to the camera so you can see. The rear sight is adjustable for both elevation and windage, but basically there's these 2 screws there. And basically what you do is you loosen up the screws, and with your finger or with a screwdriver, you just move it left to right or up or down. And it's really, it's really not that, you really can't make accurate adjustments with that, because you're basically moving it with your finger. So that's something I would expect Ruger, I would have expected something a little bit better from Ruger on that, okay? But it is accurate. If you're shooting some 30 yards, you can pretty much hit the target, especially if it's, if you're hitting, let's say, a target this size, you can easily hit it with the iron sights at 30 yards, okay? With the red dot, I do shoot out to 100 yards, and for that, I've done it with both the red dot and with the scope. I got an 8-power scope on this one over here. the 22 caliber is somewhat limited in, you know, I mean, just because of the nature of the bullet. I mean, at 110 yards that I'll sometimes shoot this to, I mean, you're going to get a grouping of, you know, maybe 8 to 12 inches. I mean, you're not going to get tight groups with 22s, even with the, you know, even with the stainless steel barrel that this has on it. You know, so with this gun, I mean, that's what you can expect at 110 yards. You're going to get some pretty wide groups, you know, compared to, let's say, you know, a Colt AR-15. You know, I can usually get 2-inch groups at 110 yards. Okay, so both of these rifles come with these internal magazines, okay, which are good if you're basically resting the gun on the table, because it, you know, basically allows you to rest the gun. And it does not interfere, you know, basically, you know, the magazine is not going to interfere with the table, so you can shoot benched. They do make these long magazines that hold 25 rounds. They rock in. For the first year that I did most of those 10,000 rounds on each of these rifles, I was using these Champion magazines. I think they were like $10 or $12 each back then when I bought them. They do have plastic feed lips, so, you know, within 2 years, basically, they weren't working that well. I think maybe the feed lips started wearing out a little bit. But basically, I've since retired these. I basically just threw them in a box as a, you know, emergency reserve. And I have bought these magazines. These are made by Ruger, the VX25s. They work pretty good. I think I have some 6 of these. One of them I did have to take a Dremel and kind of polish it a little, you know, polish the feed lip a little bit. To get it to run a little bit better, so you might have to do something like that. So overall, it's, you know, these magazines work pretty good. So the one negative I have about the gun is really the flip up sight, which is not a big deal, especially if you're doing a red dot. Okay, so let's talk now. I think back then I paid $250 or $260 for this gun. You know, of course, it's got that stainless steel barrel. They both do. So I probably paid a slight premium for that. And how do I feel about that in hindsight? Well, I definitely would not have bought 2 of these guns. Okay, and I might not even have bought 1 gun. And it's not because it's not a good gun. The gun works really good. It does, you know, it will do a high volume of shooting with very little cleaning maintenance. But part of the reason why I probably would not buy this gun is because I don't work that way anymore. I typically don't give people 550 round bricks, have them, you know, shoot that out, and then I'll move them up to a different caliber after that. What I'll do is I'll just have them maybe shoot 50 rounds on one of these guns, and then I'll immediately move them up either to a 9mm rifle or an actual AR-15. Okay, back then, about 7 years ago, you know, AR-15s were still not as common. I mean, it was obviously very common within, you know, hardcore shooting groups, but it was not, let's say, it was not America's favorite gun yet. Okay, so it would have been a little odd if I would basically tell somebody, okay, here, shoot 25 rounds of the or 50 rounds of the 22s, and boom, you're going straight to an AR-15. Now, that might have been a little odd for them, or a little odd overall. But nowadays, that's pretty common. You know, it works pretty good. I've done it enough times that I know it works good. So I will typically take people, and I'll, you know, from, you know, after shooting, you know, some 25 or 50 rounds of the 22s, I'll say, yep, you're ready to shoot your AR-15 now, okay? So the way I train people has changed. So because I don't do that high volume of shooting, I probably don't need I probably would not buy a 1022 because I train differently. And I do have other options, cheaper options. Like, for example, I can do the same thing with this Mossberg 702 Plinkster, okay? It comes with a 10-round magazine, and they do make these 25-round magazines that you could put in there, okay? And the gun is very light, so with a lot of women and children, they actually like this gun. You know, they like the gun. It's easy for them to handle. It's and the only bad thing is that if you're loading this magazine past 10 rounds, you have to kind of use this to shove them in there because it does get very stiff. Back then when I bought this, because I bought these pretty much at the same time, okay? I basically I started off with the 1022s. I said that, at some point I think first I bought this one, and then a couple of months later I went and I bought that one, and I saw this one for $100, $110. I said, oh great, I'll take that too. So at the time that I bought this, I didn't really know if this gun was going to stand up to a high volume of shooting. And pretty much during that same time period, I also bought this gun. All these guns are about 7 years old. So I also bought that gun, and again, that's the Colt 22. It's made by Umarex, okay, but it's got the Colt name on it. So again, I didn't know at the time how well that gun was going to stand up to a high volume shooting. I did know that the 1022 was going to stand up to a high volume shooting because it had been around for a while. There was lots of reviews out there. So I don't like reinventing the wheel. I'm not going to experiment. While I'm working. When I'm working and training people, I pretty much stick to the stuff that is well proven and works. Okay, so and then over the years I did experiment a little bit, and a little bit at a time. And I found that these guns work very good. So especially for the way I'm working now, where basically I'll just have people shoot maybe 50 rounds of 22s, and then I'll move them up to an AR-15. This works just great. It's a light gun, like I said. People can bring it up, and the sights are actually a lot easier to adjust on this gun, okay? Because it actually has screws that you can move for much more precise adjustments to elevation and windage. So I do like the Mossberg 702 Plinkster. They made a tactical version of this. I think it was called the 714, and that completely sucked. The same gun, basically, the same internals, but the plastic that they put around it was ridiculous. I mean, it basically looked like you put the gun inside a shoebox or something. So I bought that, and I basically sold that within a couple of months because it was just big, bulky, and again, it had the same charging handle on the side. So even though it looked like an AR-15, it didn't. It really wasn't an AR-15. So if you're doing a low volume of shooting for $100, $110. This is a great gun, 702 Plinkster. And if you're looking for a tactical, AR-22, I mean, like I have this Colt 22, and it works great, and it has, the charging handle where it's supposed to be, and it's got the magazine release here where it's supposed to be. It's got all the, it's got the, basically, it has rails where you can mount stuff. It has about the same weight, same size as a standard AR-15. So if you're looking for a an AR style 22, you've got much better options than trying to take the 1022 and put tactical crap on it to try and make it like this. Okay. So again, the reason why, even though I like the 1022, I probably would not buy it again. Okay. This gun, I do a lot of training with this, and most of the people that I train, that I'm training to do tactical shooting, if I'm just introducing them to it, they're starting out, I'll usually start them off on this gun over here. This gun's done a good volume of shooting. It's probably approaching 10,000 rounds at this point. But that didn't all happen in the beginning. That's happened spread out over, over the 7 years I've been doing this. Okay, so this is a really, really good gun. So there are my thoughts on the Ruger 1022. A very good gun. It will work very reliably with a wide variety of cheap 22 ammo. But at $260, I think you've got better options. You can either go cheaper, with the 702, okay, or you can go a little bit more expensive, and get a true tactical, 22, or you can even convert your AR-15, you change the bolt out, change the magazine, and presto, you have your AR-15. Now all of a sudden basically shoots 22s as well. Okay, so there are my thoughts on this. It's a great gun, like I said, but I probably would not buy two of them, and I probably wouldn't buy one unless I found it really, really cheap somewhere. Okay, but it is a good gun. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.